Hi everyone. In this video, we'll uh, see what is a discovery server, why is it required, and how uh, we can set it up. So, as you would have seen in our last video, that we had to remember the URL when we were trying to call another service, right? So, obviously, we did the hard coding of the other services URL or endpoint, and imagine a scenario where you have multiple instances of that service also running. So obviously, you know, remembering, different services, endpoints, and that to have those services having multiple instances themselves is not feasible. Okay, so we have to avoid that hard coding of, you know, these services URL. Uh, so there is a concept known as discovery server where the different services can go and register themselves. Okay, and with the help of that discovery server only, the one service uh, can know about whether the other service is available, and uh, how do I call that service, and things of those sort. So this is where we have discovery server coming into picture. It handles the service registry, which means different services can register itself, and if they are not available, they can they can deregister themselves, uh, so that their availability shows not available. Okay, and there are other benefits as well, which we will see, like monitoring and health check on the services, and so on and so forth. So what I've done is, as we have generally done, we will also try to get some inspiration from ChatGPT, what it is telling as to what are the advantages of Discovery Server. So we know, a lot of points about why Discovery Server may be needed and why is it so much necessary in a microservices environment. Okay, so I just wrote this question and it came up with this answer. As I already mentioned, it helps in dynamic service registration and discovery. So microservices can register themselves with with the server. This eliminates the need for manual configuration of service locations, that is IP addresses, ports, etc. Okay. And services can dynamically locate other services at runtime, which helps in having more flexibility. Other advantages could be load balancing. You know, a discovery server allows clients to perform client side load balancing. Okay, what it means is that a client can retrieve a list of available instances of a service and select one to interact with, distributing the load among or across multiple instances. Okay, so it helps in load balancing of the different instances of a service as well. And so in this way, when we distribute the load among multiple instances, we are able to increase the availability of that service as well. Uh, and obviously, the point I mentioned, increased availability, helps us in scalability aspects as well. That the scalability with the discovery server also increases because new instances of service can quickly get added to the architecture. As they come online, they register themselves with the server and are automatically available for other services to locate them. Okay. And then you have, as I mentioned, health checks can be done on various services, to monitor the status of a register service. If a service instance fails, it is automatically removed from the registry, ensuring that the client don't talk to that service or do not try to communicate to that instance of the service. Okay. And obviously, if you integrate tools like Netflix Hystrix, services can implement fallback strategies if a service instance becomes unavailable. And there are other, uh, you know, advantages as well, like simplified configuration, which is very obvious, improved network efficiency, and so on and so forth. Okay, so I'm not going to all the advantages. We have already talked about the major advantage, why discovery server is required. Okay. You know, so it makes sense to set up one service as a discovery server, so that the other actual services which are doing, their specific tasks can register to that centralized location or centralized registry and be available or not available for other services in the environment. Okay, that's the idea. So in the next video, we'll also see how we can set up a discovery server and take it from there. Okay, so that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.